Hello, Steve Mills here with another episode of Raise Your Game. It's great to be back with you, sharing some more tried, tested and proven ideas, ways in which you can grow your business and become more successful. Today I've got a quote for you. This quote is something I read recently. I think it was online, and it's a quote by Warren Buffett. He says that he's only got two rules for success. Rule number one, and it is rule number one in every sense of the word, is don't lose money. And yet I see so many businesses, out there that I speak to that are losing money or certainly not making money, and they're implementing marketing that's not working. They're spending money, they're wasting money on marketing, and so on and so forth. Now, rule two, this is a very special rule from Warren. He says, see rule one. I really like that. I thought it was really funny, but also with very, very serious intent. We've got to be more, I think in business, we've got to be more set up and switched on financially. It's no use saying, well, I've got an accountant who deals with all that. As a business owner myself, I've recognized the importance of having a good understanding of the financial side of my business. And, it always alarms me when I hear that, most business owners don't understand the financial side. And I know from experience that they often don't understand the marketing side. The side of their business that they do understand is the operational side. They're good at doing the work of the business and not necessarily good at running a business that does that work. So, I don't know where you'd rate your own personal skills right now in terms of financial skills. How good are you at, everything on the financial side of your business? You probably vary. You may be really good at bookkeeping, but your debt collection's rubbish. Or you may be really good at debt collection, but your financial budgeting is not really up to scratch. Whatever it happens to be, there are always areas of strength and weakness in a business, and also within the financial side of a business. But moving over and talking about marketing, which is obviously the area that I spent nearly 30 years helping businesses to do better. I've worked with literally thousands of businesses in hundreds of industries, and I've literally made them millions upon millions of pounds of extra additional money. And so that makes me, I think, a pretty good, hopefully, advisor, because I've actually done it. I've been doing it for a long time now, and I certainly wouldn't have stayed in business if I wasn't very good at what I do. All that said, I want to talk to you about 5 M's, the 5 M's of business. Everybody talks about the 4 P's or the 5 P's or the 6 P's of marketing, which are along the lines of product, promotion, price, and so on and so forth. But I want to talk to you today about the 5 M's. So the 5 M's start with the first one being magnetize. Magnetize people. What do I mean by that? I mean, one of my sayings is that to be successful in marketing, you've got to stand out by being outstanding. In other words, you've got to be different. It doesn't mean, I want to be clear here, this doesn't mean you have to have the best, most expensive anything. I would never be sat here trying to encourage anybody to go and spend, 30, 40, 50,000 on a website if they don't actually need a £50,000 website. That's just a waste of time. So what I'm really talking about here is thinking about your business and in what way could you impress the heck out of your clients. What could you do to make them really sit up and do something different? So what could you do different in your marketing? Now, I could sit here and talk to you about this all night long, but what I'm going to do is sow a seed. And my seed that I'm going to sow is a slightly unusual now, actually, and it's to write a book. Write a book. Why am I telling you to write a book? And the reason is that people who have written a book are positioned really, really well within the market. Now, I've written 4 books on marketing, and the one thing I can tell you about that is I've never really made much money from selling books. In fact, I give most of the books that I've written, I give them away. Why would I do that? Well, people look at the book, and I hopefully read it, because I know that not everybody reads books. I often call it people have shelf development instead of self-development. So people develop their shelves instead of themselves. Because apparently 90% of business books are never read, which absolutely astounds me. But anyway, so write a book, because it's a great tool to position you as the expert. So, if I ran a landscape gardening business, I'd write a book on landscape gardening, maybe called Landscape Gardening on a Small Budget, something like that. Or if landscape gardening for hotels, if that was my target market. And if I was an anything, I did massage for athletes. I'd write a book on that. And the truth is, you may sit there thinking, well, I've never written a book. I don't know how to write a book. Writing a book is really easy. It's just a matter of sitting down and spending a bit of time, laying it out into chapters, and then filling those chapters full of words. So, whatever you decide to do to improve the magnetic force, if you will, of your marketing, go ahead and do it and take action and create that sort of database of people who know you, like you, and trust you. Once you've got that, and basically that's never over. You've never actually got it. You don't need to do it anymore. But once you've started to create that, it's about materializing. Okay, so how do you turn that into going for a coffee? In other words, that first interaction. You're probably not going to sell them your, £30,000 product right now, although you may do. Depends what what industry you're in. But if you've got a small business, my question to you is: there anything that you could get some form of buy-in to materialize? Get them to materialize. Like in Star Trek, where all of a sudden somebody materializes as they're beamed aboard. Get them to beam aboard your business. Now, that could be meeting you. It could be buying into something, maybe a low-cost product. It could be them signing up for a free product, a free webinar or a free seminar or something like that you run. It could be sending them a free sample of a physical widget, something that you actually sell. But just giving them a sample of it so that they can try it out. It could be that you give them an amount of time. So if you're a trainer, you get them to come along to a free training event and so on and so forth. But you get them to materialize. Step 3 is getting them mesmerized. Okay? So we've got magnetized, materialized. Step 3 is mesmerized. So in other words, when you do meet them, you've got to impress the heck out of them, because often they're going and getting 2 or 3 quotes. So my big question again is, what could you do different to anybody else? What is there in your business that could make your business stand out? Be outstanding by standing out. So everything from the way they turn up at your building, if they do that, they walk in the door, they're greeted, they're followed up, the way the building looks, the way your office looks, the expression on people's face, the way they look, the way they dress, the way you as a business do everything to create that, wow, they do that here? That's incredible. I've never been anywhere that does that. You may recall, if you've listened to a couple of my webinars in the past, me talking about K&H, the accountants. And when I walked up the stairs on that very first day, and I came to the top, and there was that big sign on the wall that said, "Welcome, Steve Mills." And I thought, wow, that's incredible. That's mesmerised. It did mesmerise me. It wasn't anything big. Wasn't anything that cost anything. But they were the only, and still are. I'm talking, it must be 15 years ago now. And they're the only business I've ever been into, only office I've ever been into where they've bothered to do that. And I've been in thousands upon thousands of offices, and it was something that definitely just stuck out in my mind. Next one. So just to reiterate, we've magnetized, got all these people into a database so that we're communicating with, materialize, we've got them to take some action, we've then impressed the heck out of them, we've now got to monetize. We've got to monetize. So the question is, out of the people that you're mesmerizing, how many of them are you monetizing? You know, if you're getting 10 meetings, for example, or 10 people along to a seminar, then you're going to try and mesmerize them and impress the heck out of them, then how many are you going to monetize? So in other words, what is your sales system? How good are you at running your sales system? You know, I'll give you some examples here. What would you say if somebody said, I want to think about it? Or, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to get a couple of quotes. You know, what is your system for answering those types of objections? Where do you go with that? Do you just wing it? Do you just make it up on the spot? Or do you have a set procedure, a set thing that you're going to say in order to make sure that you answer that as well and clearly and professionally as you can? Because you've got, when you're selling somebody, you've got, a line that you start them off on, and you've got to move them down that line until you get to the actual sale. So what is your line? You know, you're not going to go up to somebody and go, so do you want to buy one or what? That's probably not the best way of doing it. That I call my Yorkshire close, by the way. Do you want to buy it or what? That is the Yorkshire close. Not the best one, but it's probably quite direct, let's put it that way. But, on a serious note, you need to have, I believe, a sales system in your business. Step 1 is this, step 2 is that, step 3 is that, and so on and so forth. And it needs to be a system that, again, mesmerizes. It stands out from your competition. And the last one is maximize. You know, we've got these people. We've built our database. We've got a load of people we're connected to. We've got them to take action. We've mesmerized them. We've really impressed the heck out of them. We've monetized. We've got a sale, and we've now got to maximize. We've got to maximize that sale. And the truth of this, the point 5 is so many businesses don't do that. They have clients who don't really understand the full range of products and services that they offer. They have clients who come back every now and again and are not in a regular buying system. There are 3 ways of growing a business. 1 is to get new clients. Number 2 is to increase the average transaction value, how much they spend each time they buy from you. And number 3 is to increase the frequency of purchase. So my questions to you to finish off on this podcast today are, what are you doing right now in order to get people to come back more often, those customers that have bought from you, and to get them to spend more each time they visit? So they're 2 great questions to finish off the webinar. So thank you ever so much for listening. Once again, my offer is still open of having a results meeting with me. Now, I want to be clear what this is. I want to sit down with you. And that could be over the internet, or it could be in our office. I really don't mind. And I want to get a better understanding of your business, what your aspirations are, where you're looking to take it, what you're doing at the moment in terms of your marketing, what's working and what's not, how effective you are at selling. And I want to give you some really good thoughts and ideas and ways in which you can improve. When I've done that, basically I want to magnetize you. I want to get you in there, You know, I want you to materialize to come and see me. I want to mesmerize you. Yeah. I want to monetize you. I want to turn it into a sale, even if it's just a little one. Let's get a step in the door and see if what I've got is what you need. And then I want to maximize. I want to help you. And I want to make sure that for every pound that you pay me, you get 10, 20, 30 back. That's ultimately how I keep customers. The better I am at helping you be profitable. If I help you to make if I cost you £1 and make you 20, how often do you want to buy from me? Certainly if it was me, I'd want that all day long. So that said, thank you ever so much for listening. If you want to talk, give me a call. My telephone number is 01256 242 272. If you want to check out my advisory website, it's stevemills.co. If you're looking at some help in terms of marketing done for you, then go to theprudentmarketer.com. Thank you ever so much for listening, and I look forward to sharing with you some more tried, tested and proven ideas in the very near future. Thank you very much for listening.